Hi, I'm Sheila. Welcome or welcome back to Yoga Charcuterie. This practice on our charcuterie board is focused on sun salutations and chair pose with a little bit of tree thrown in. Not so much thrown in, planned in. So as always, when we practice, if you're coming to this practice directly, make sure you've done a few of the warm-up stretches, either in the warm-up charcuterie or just on your own, doing what feels good to you. For this practice, a chair is an awesome prop for us to have so that when we move into our balance poses, it allows us to move into those poses with more stability and freedom, that effort and ease we're looking for. So having a chair available. I have a mat for this practice so that I have a good surface to stand on, and also so my chair won't slide. So either a yoga mat or whatever surface that suffices for a yoga mat for you. I also have a block, which is great to use for sun salutations, so that as we release into that forward fold, we don't find ourselves dangling in that forward fold. We find a place where our hands can have purchase. Our hands can be solid and secure and allow us to soften into the pose. So again, a block at any of those heights that a block can be, seat of the chair, or another object. You have a found object at home that works beautifully for you. That is awesome. So let's begin our practice with some sun salutations. We're going to start in mountain pose. I'm going to go ahead and place the block in front of me, and again, you can choose any height. Feet are about hip distance apart. And maybe a few shoulder rolls as we just draw attention to our breath. As always, when we practice, make this practice your own. As you choose things on a charcuterie board, you choose what's best for your body. Do the same when we practice today. Choose what fits you, what feels good, and discard the rest, right? That's the great thing about charcuterie. You choose what you want, what your body needs, what your mind needs. Awesome. Let's bend the knees a little bit, and let's just reach up, maybe lifting the chin, and then bringing the arms down. And then from here, let's inhale and open into this big breath of freedom. And on the exhale, let's tuck the knees a little bit as we tuck the hands in and the chin in. And then inhale as we open. A little bit of a back bend as we're doing that. Exhale as we tuck. Inhaling as we open. I added an extra exhale. That's the thing about breathing, right? You can sync up your breathing, inhale or exhale, or you can breathe and let it flow naturally. It's all good. Let's do one more opening, and then let's bring the hands out in front of us. Tuck the chin, push the hands away. I'm just rounding a little bit, almost in a cat. And then I'm going to release down, come up to standing. Again, just making sure that as you start these sun salutations, you've had a chance to do maybe some twists and side bends, things like that. All right, for a sun salutation, with our feet in that strong mountain pose, spine is long, we are going to bend the knees, sweep the arms up. On the exhale, let's bring our hands through heart center as we put a deep bend in our knees, coming into our forward fold. Releasing our hands to the block or the mat or the seat of the chair. Rising to a half lift as we lengthen the spine, softening to a forward fold. Bending the knees deeply, pushing into the earth, pulling the belly to the spine, and then inhale as you unfurl. Exhale as you open. Inhale as you reach. Adding a little side bend. Coming back to center. A side bend. Back to center. From here, let's bring our hands through heart center, coming down into our forward fold. Again, keeping that bend in the knees in a way that serves you well. Rising to your half lift, softening forward fold. Bending the knees as you prepare, pushing into the earth, hugging that low belly in, taking that energy all the way up from the earth, through the tips of your toes up to the tips of your fingers, opening to cactus arms, reaching high, adding your side bend, back to center, side bend, back to center, and then let's bring our hands through to heart center. So we're going to add on with some chair pose variations. You can stay facing, I'm going to turn a couple times just so you can see what I'm doing. But starting back with our mountain pose, let's bend our knees, sweep our arms up. On the exhale, bringing our hands through to heart center, forward fold. Inhale as you rise, half lift. Exhale as you soften and fold. Inhale as you deeply bend those knees. Exhale, push into the earth as you begin to rise. Inhaling as you unfurl, opening to cactus arms, reaching high, side bend, back to center, side bend, back to center. Bringing the hands through to heart center, sending the hips back, coming into chair pose. Whenever we're in chair pose, please choose the hand position that feels best for you. They can be lifted, they can be to the sides, they can be in heart center. We're sending our hips back and our knees back. Toes are light. Feet are strong. Holding in this chair pose, or maybe doing small pulses. And then from here, let's go ahead and take an inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale as we soften to our forward fold. Inhale as we rise to our half lift. Exhale as we soften, forward fold. Inhale, deeply bending the knees. And then let's push into the earth as we pull that belly to spine, bringing the energy up. And then take a big inhale as we rise and open. Cactus arms. Inhale as you reach, adding your side bend. Coming back to center, adding side bend. Back to center, opening to cactus arms. Reaching long and settling back into your chair pose again. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our fingertips together, pushing into the fingertips if that is a comfortable spot for you. If not, any option that feels good for you, okay? From here, feel free to keep that chair pose just as is, or you can even go with a wider chair pose if you like that wider base. From here, we're going to inhale as we lengthen. And on the exhale, we'll be twisting to a side. Choose which side you'd prefer to start on. So we exhale, twist in that upper body. We inhale as we open and rise. We exhale as we twist. To the other side. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you twist in your chair, sending the hips back, the knees back in a way that serves you. More. If you notice that your knees are wanting to really move with you, really grounding into the feet, finding that strong support from the earth as you push those feet in and keep those knees staying mainly forward. This is where you could also add a little bit of a wider stance if that feels good. And then let's go ahead and all meet up in our traditional chair pose, choosing your hand position, taking a few breaths, inhaling, exhaling as you dive into your forward fold. Inhale as you rise, half lift. Exhale as you soften and fold. Inhale as you bend the knees. Exhale, hug that belly in. Rise, 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 and lengthen. Let's open to cactus arms. Inhale as you reach, and bring our hands through to heart center. Taking a breath here. We're gonna add on with our tree pose. So again, as I love using a chair for tree pose, I think it's great to have it right in front of you, because then no matter what side tree pose we're doing, you can just tap on that chair as you need, or keep one hand on the chair, but you can also have it to the side. My chair is a little lower than I would normally like to have. I'd like to have it a little bit higher just because of the length of my body. Positioning your chair as you like. Moving into a tree pose. Options, if you're using a block and you like that block between your feet for a tree pose, you can do that. We're going to start with our right leg being the standing leg. So I'm on the right side of my chair. Again, if you're behind it, that works perfectly. Choosing if you want to bring that opening leg up to the block, if you wanted to put it on top of the other foot, if you wanted to put it on the calf, or if you wanted to put it all the way up, that's an option as well. All right, the only area we're avoiding is the knee joint. So choosing which option you like in your tree pose. Right leg is the standing leg. It's strong, but it's soft, not locked, maybe that little bit of a bend in it. We hug the core in and we choose our tree opening for that left side. Taking a moment, choosing any hand position you want. Maybe we're pushing that foot into the calf as we push that calf into the foot. Hugging that belly in, finding that drishti, that focal point. We can softly fix our gaze. And as I always say in my classes, if you come out of your chair or tree pose, if you tip out of your tree, just come right back into it. Set it up, come back in, hug that belly in, and breathe. Taking a few more breaths. And then let's slowly release. Set that foot down. Let's shake that out a little bit, maybe lifting the knees side to side. And then let's send the standing leg behind us into the garden again to stretch that standing leg a little bit. And then maybe you bring that leg forward, leave the pine straw there, roll the ankle, and we'll get ready for the other side. Again, choosing your option. If you want to use the block, excellent. If you would prefer not to use the block. So any of those options are great. Setting up your tree pose from mountain pose. This time that left leg is standing. It's strong, but it's soft. Coming into your tree version. Taking a moment to settle in. Hugging the belly towards the spine, creating this strong trunk. I always think of oak trees. The other thing I think of is giving yourself grace and appreciating the strength that you have, even if you're tipping out of the tree and you're coming back to it, but appreciating the strength you have and the tenacity. Taking a few more breaths at any time. Again, you can keep one hand on the chair. Hands can be out to the side. They could be lifted high, shoulders softened down. Breathing, and then slowly releasing. Setting that down, lifting the knees a little bit. And then same thing, maybe you take that hand to the chair, send that standing leg behind you for a little bit of a stretch. Excellent, then come back to center. So last piece we're going to do in our movement charcuterie is we're going to do a little bit of a chair tree flow. So setting up for your tree on the right side, you can have the chair again in front of you, works so beautifully, or you can have it to the side, okay? So what we do is we come into a chair pose, and then we flow into tree. Now we're just coming here for a moment, and then we sweep back down, close the hip, come in to a chair pose. So it's a nice, gentle, slow flow between the two. It's like a dance with tree and chair. We'll do just a few more. So focusing on that balance in movement, a dynamic balance. And then the next time you come up to your tree, let's go ahead and hold in that tree for a little bit. So set that one up. Choose your arm position. Breathe. Breathe. And release down. Let's bend the knees, sweep the arms up. And let's take a swan dive into a forward fold. Rising to our half lift. Softening to our forward fold. Bending the knees deeply, pulling the belly to the spine as we lift that gaze to rise, taking that energy up, opening to cactus arms, reaching high, adding a side bend, back to center, side bend, back to center, bringing our hands through heart center. Excellent. Excellent practicing. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So moving your chair, or if the chair is in front of you, you leave it where it is, okay? Releasing everything. So we'll be on our left side that will transition into that dynamic balance between chair pose and tree pose. Again, moving in a way that feels good to you. We can keep the left hand on the chair as we flow. We can pick it up. And remembering that one side can sometimes feel different than the other side. You can move at your own pace. Let's go ahead and hold in that tree, choosing the location you prefer to be for that. Core is strong and long. Gaze is softly fixed. Breathing. Bringing the hands back through heart center as we release that leg down. Distributing the weight to both feet. Let's transition with a sun salutation, bending the knees, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling as we swan dive, forward fold. Inhale as we rise, half lift. Exhale as we soften. And inhale as we bend the knees. On the exhale, let's hug that belly in. And then as we rise, let's inhale and unfurl. Opening to cactus arms. Inhale as you reach. Let's sweep the hands behind the back, interlacing or bringing the hands to the small of the back, and just breathing. Maybe softening the gaze as you take a moment to appreciate your strength in your body, your strength in your mind. From here, let's release the hands, sweep the arms up, and bring our hands through to heart center, coming to our mountain pose. Thank you for practicing together today, for joining me in this sun salutation choice on our yoga charcuterie board. Be well, take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.